The Sith reaches the edge of the placid pool. He unslings his bag from his shoulder and unpacks it, while Osha observes from a hiding spot in the rocks. As he begins to untie a belted knot from around his waist, she straightens up for a better look. He begins to undress, revealing a prominent scar on his well-toned back. Dropping his billowy-legged hakama pants, he steps forward with the sunlight accentuating his taut muscles.
That is so lame!
G'day guys and welcome to Raging Rhino. Before we get into this video, there's actually a question that I want to ask all of you. And that is, do you think that Disney Star Wars is actually Star Wars? And even more so, do you think that Disney Star Wars is even being made for Star Wars fans at the moment? Now, I put this poll out on Twitter last night. And in a day, we've had 1,600 votes on this poll. I asked the exact question that I've just asked all of you. Is Disney Star Wars actually Star Wars? With 5.6% of people saying, yes, of course it is, and 94.4% of people saying, hell no, never has been. I also put this poll out on my YouTube channel, my community tab. Exact same question. We've got 2%. This is out of 426 votes. We've got 2% saying yes and 98% saying no. So I'm very curious to see what your thoughts are on there in regards to this, whether or not Star Wars is actually Star Wars and whether or not Star Wars, Disney Star Wars, I should say, is actually being made for Star Wars fans. Now, the reason why I just want to touch on this really quickly before we get into the nuts and bolts of this video, the reason why I'm asking this is because if you're going to buy an IP like Disney has when it comes to Star Wars and then completely change it from what it is, to me, it ceases to be exactly what it was that they bought. Disney Star Wars is not Star Wars. It never has been, and unfortunately for a lot of people out there, it never will be. And I think we all now need to come to terms with the fact that Disney has decided to take Star Wars in a completely different direction, just like George Lucas has said, that the 6 movies are definitely his, they're his philosophy, but they've taken it on a different direction and he's lost control of it.
I've kind of lost control of Star Wars, so it's going off in a different path than what I intended. But the first 6 are very much mine and my philosophy.
Now, obviously, he lost control of it when he sold it to Disney, yes. But I truly believe that he sold it to Disney and put Kathleen Kennedy in charge with the intent that she was going to actually look after his legacy. And she certainly hasn't done that. And Dave Filoni's just as bad as far as I'm concerned because he was one of those people that got carried over. He should know better. And he is destroying the lore, canon, and continuity of Star Wars just like everybody else there over at Lucasfilm. But the main thing for this video today is the fact that with this last episode of The Acolyte that's just come out, and some of the things that have been said, especially by Leslie Headland in some of the interviews that she's done in regards to this, it tells me again that Disney Star Wars isn't being made for Star Wars fans anymore. And that they actually made this episode for the shippers. Leslie Headland took inspiration from the Reylos and from Rian Johnson's version of Star Wars when it comes to the Reylos. And I just wanted to go over and show you exactly who Star Wars is being made for these days. So these are all the shippers out there that are so happy with this dynamic of Osha and the Stranger or Chimera actually being a thing. And look, if they actually did the story well, they could actually probably do something with it if they really wanted to, right? But the fact that within a day of her seeing this guy kill her friends, kill some of the people that the only people that she's known in the galaxy for a long time, really doesn't make any sense when it comes to shipping these characters. But the people out there that are actually enjoying this don't care because they don't care about Star Wars. So here's a couple of them. Of course, we get all the fan fiction, all the drawings and everything that people do. And it says Helmet Osha Mir. So this is the shipping name that they've come up with, Osha Mir. Of course, Leslie Headland approves of that. right? But let's just take a look at some of these, and we're just going to go through them. They disgust me, to be honest with you. And again, like I said, this is who Star Wars is being made for. So here's another one here. After watching the reveal, I think that's the name of the episode, and noticing the voice change, you can see how he switched to Sith Chimere here after seeing her up close. And this is the scene with Osha coming into the store and dressing up as May. He couldn't hide himself, and it makes me feral.
You look exactly like her.
Oh, it was love at first sight. That's what people are saying with this garbage. Let's go on to the next one. I know nothing about Star Wars, but maybe I will watch. Hashtag the Acolyte for hashtag Oshamir. Knows nothing about Star Wars. These are the Star Wars fans. These are the new Star Wars fans that they want, of course. Right? But then goes on to say her reaction throughout this Chimera and Osha scene was on point. Now, I watched this. I actually retweeted this out there. I want you to watch her reaction compared to his reaction. He looks like he's dying inside, but he can't actually say anything here.
He knows he's being followed. No.
Oh, the thirst.
Stop.
The thirst is thick.
No.
Yeah. Real thick.
Hello.
Look at
While
him.
he's completely vulnerable.
I
Come
think
on
we.
in. He's so handsome. Okay. Why don't you join me, Osha? Wait for it. Here it comes.
He knows she's there.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Why is that funny to me? I'm sorry.
Why is that funny to you? How about you elaborate on why that's actually funny to you? I don't think I need to show any more of this. There's just so many moments throughout this where he looks like he's dying inside and she's just thirsty as hell, right? But the person in the previous tweet that said that they know nothing about Star Wars is saying that this person's reaction is on point. We go on to another one. I just love when Jedi girls grab onto their dark side boyfriend's cock. Oh, sorry. No, that's retracted. So thirsty, man. And this is all it's become. It's become Twilight in Star Wars. The dark side has a gym. Hashtag Oshamir. Hashtag Raylo. These weirdos, man. Absolute weirdos. This is never what Star Wars was. And people want to try and sit there and justify it by saying, you know, oh, there was shipping going on with Anakin and Padme. Dude, that was the story. They were always going to end up together. What do you mean that there was shipping for that? Or that there was shipping for either Luke and Leia? Now, of course, once the reveal came that Leia was the sister, like that sort of died. But like there isn't anything inherently wrong with actually being a love story in Star Wars, because there has been. But the shipping, and this is the big thing, is the fact that Osha is just like, all right, I'll forgive you for your discretions, right? For the things that you did, to cracking Yord's neck and killing Jackie, who was supposed to be the love interest. Only a couple of episodes ago, the shippers were out there shipping Jackie and Osha. And now, it doesn't matter. Now we'll go to the heterosexual relationship. Oshamir, blackout days.
But when you lose everything,
And you got the hands going.
that's when you're finally free.
I'm just like, this is so fucking disgusting. Look, and then they go to the hand stuff. I just don't want to show it because it's like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. These are the fans these are the quote unquote Disney fans that aren't going to buy your merch. Yeah, they might go out and buy a Grogu because he's this little cute creature. But are they actually going to go out there and buy like your Star Wars Lego, invest a lot of money, buy your lightsabers? Most likely not, because all they care about is the shipping of these characters. This is about them, in case anyone's wondering. Hashtag Oshamir. It's about them, is it? It's not about the story. It was always about them. What about all the episodes before it? The 5 episodes before it, was it still about them? You Swiftie fan? This person's title is Swiftie. This one, Jesus. I have such a huge treat for all my Oshemere people. I hope y'all are hungry. Posting it Tuesday. Hashtag the Acolyte, hashtag Oshemere. And this was her reaction. Oh, so sexy. Okay. I've been trying my hardest not to get into another enemies to lovers ship. But how can I not ship Osha and Chimere after today's episode? Oh my God, I'm starting to get obsessed with them. Hashtag the Acolyte, hashtag Oshemere, I don't know, and then Oshemere. There's the 2 shipping names that they're trying to, I don't know. This one's definitely taking over more, the Oshemere one. And then the last one that I just wanted to share with you, of course, a lot of these people too have pronouns in their bios. 20-year-olds with pronouns in their bios, right? But here's another one. Chimere doesn't know it yet, but he was in love with her at first sight through the Force. Hashtag Oshemere. Disney Star Wars isn't for Star Wars fans, and Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars. Now, I'm not saying Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars because of this. This definitely plays a role in it. But Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars because of the amount of lore and canon and continuity breaking issues. And I know that there are people out there that will say, oh, cite your evidence of where they've broken lore or canon. Go back and watch my reviews of The Mandalorian. Go back and watch my reviews of even the sequel trilogy. Go back and watch my reviews of Andor. Go back and watch my reviews of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Book of Boba Fett and all of these things if you really want me to cite my evidence, because I've done it multiple times and I'm sick of repeating myself basically. But at the end of the day, Disney Star Wars isn't Star Wars, and Disney Star Wars certainly isn't made for Star Wars fans. It is now made for this new series of fans, these Disney shills, these Disney seals that actually don't give a fuck about the lore, the canon, or the continuity of Star Wars. And I think that was made very clear through this series with the Ki-Adi-Mundi stuff, right? Oh, they decanonized it. They can do what they want. It doesn't change the fact that the species only lives a certain amount of time or anything like that. Again, changing the lore, changing the canon of that particular species to suit their narrative so that they can have him in there and the people just lap it up. They just clap and they don't care. They just don't care. At the end of the day, this is all they do. Anyway, I just wanted to get that out there. I wanted to, like I said, ask you guys what you think in regards to whether or not Disney Star Wars is actually Star Wars, and whether or not you think that Disney Star Wars is actually being made for Star Wars fans. Because from my perspective, as a massive Star Wars fan, it's not. And I will put the link to these polls in the chat so you can go over there and vote if you'd like, and let me know your thoughts in the comments of those too. But let me know your thoughts about all of this in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.
Hey, fuck off.